Welcome to Movie Recaps with Brian. Subscribe below for daily recaps. Today, we're recapping The Naked Gun, directed by David Zucker. Lieutenant Frank Drebin, played by Leslie Nielsen of the police squad, is vacationing in Beirut when he inadvertently stumbles upon a clandestine meeting of America's most notorious enemies. Idi Amin, Muammar Gaddafi, Ayatollah Khomeini, Fidel Castro, Yasser Arafat, and Mikhail Gorbachev. The villains are plotting a terrorist plan to embarrass the United States. Drebin storms the meeting in his typical bumbling fashion, causing chaos and scattering the world leaders. Back in Los Angeles, Officer Nordberg, played by O.J. Simpson, attempts to disrupt a heroin smuggling operation aboard a ship owned by wealthy and respected businessman Vincent Ludwig, played by Richard Montauban. During the bust, Nordberg is ambushed and shot multiple times by Ludwig's henchmen, barely escaping with his life. He falls into the water but is later found and hospitalized in critical condition. Upon his return to Los Angeles, Drebin is briefed on Nordberg's condition and the heroin case. Visiting his injured partner in the hospital, Drebin receives vague, incoherent clues from the semi-conscious Nordberg, including a photograph of Ludwig's ship, the I Luv U. When Drebin learns that Nordberg's clothes tested positive for heroin, suspicion falls on Nordberg, threatening to turn him into a scapegoat. Captain Ed Hawken, played by George Kennedy, Drebin's superior and longtime friend, informs him that the Queen of England is visiting Los Angeles and that Police Squad is tasked with her security. Hawken warns Drebin he has only 24 hours to clear Nordberg's name before the press gets wind of the heroin scandal, and it jeopardizes the royal visit. Drebin begins his investigation by visiting Ludwig under the pretense of inquiring about his ship. During their conversation, Drebin carelessly reveals that Nordberg is still alive, alerting Ludwig that he could be exposed. Ludwig, now concerned, orders his assistant, Jane Spencer, played by Priscilla Presley, to get close to Drebin to determine what he knows. Jane is intelligent, charming, and completely unaware of Ludwig's criminal activities. As Jane provides Drebin with information about Ludwig's business affairs, the two slowly develop a romantic bond, marked by Drebin's clumsy charm and Jane's growing admiration for his conviction. Ludwig meets with Papschmier, one of the terrorists from the Beirut meeting, and agrees to carry out an assassination plot against Queen Elizabeth II for $20 million. Ludwig reveals his plan to use a small electronic beeper to activate a sleeper assassin via post-hypnotic suggestion, turning an unwitting person into a killer without memory of the act. To ensure Nordberg doesn't reveal anything, Ludwig sends a hypnotized doctor to the hospital to murder him. However, Drebin intervenes, saving Nordberg in a ridiculous fight scene that ends with the doctor's accidental death, robbing Drebin of a crucial witness. Desperate for evidence, Drebin breaks into Ludwig's office late at night and discovers a letter from Papschmier. Unfortunately, in classic Drebin fashion, he accidentally sets the office on fire, destroying the letter and all incriminating proof. Later, during a formal reception welcoming the Queen, Drebin, now paranoid, confronts Ludwig and misinterprets his ceremonial presentation of a musket as an assassination attempt. In trying to protect Her Majesty, Drebin causes a series of humiliating incidents that make international headlines. As a result, he's publicly disgraced and removed from Police Squad. Jane, having discovered Ludwig's true nature and learning that the Queen will be targeted at a baseball game at Anaheim Stadium, rushes to warn Drebin. Since he's been fired, Drebin has to infiltrate the stadium in disguise. He knocks out the home plate umpire and takes his place to frisk players and search for weapons. Ludwig activates his hypnotized assassin, baseball player Reggie Jackson, who begins his approach toward the Queen in the outfield. Jane alerts Drebin just in time. Drebin tackles Jackson on the field, sparking a massive bench-clearing brawl, which gives Ludwig a chance to escape. Ludwig grabs Jane and flees, threatening to kill her if Drebin interferes. As Jackson, still hypnotized, aims at the Queen, Drebin attempts to shoot him with a tranquilizer dart, but misses and hits a woman in the upper deck instead. In a slapstick twist, she falls over the railing and crashes onto Jackson, knocking him out and saving the Queen. Drebin chases Ludwig to the upper tier of the stadium and shoots him with a tranquilizer dart. Ludwig stumbles backward, falls over the edge, and is hit by a bus, run over by a steamroller, and trampled by the USC marching band in a memorably absurd death sequence. In the chaos, someone steps on Ludwig's beeper, triggering Jane's post-hypnotic programming. She draws a gun on Drebin, but he breaks her trance by proposing to her with a ring and declaring his love. With the Queen safe, Drebin is reinstated to police squad. During the celebration, a now-recovered Nordberg arrives in a wheelchair to congratulate him. In one final gag, Drebin enthusiastically slaps Nordberg on the back, sending him rolling down a staircase and launching him onto the baseball field. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe below to watch more movie recaps with Brian. Comment below which movie you'd like to see recapped next.